A lot of people forget about the wealth tax and then they receive a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year bill straight away within one hit. And the most costly mistake I've ever seen in my life is buying your house with the wrong status. Personally, I don't like smelling my neighbor's barbecue. It's going to cost 15K. Should I go to court? Hello guys and welcome to French Tax Online. Today we are with Rayann, who's the community manager of French Tax Online. I'm sure you know him already. He's been asking me quite a lot of questions recently about the mistakes people make when they buy the properties. To be honest, I could give you 1,000 examples about that, but he's been asked a lot of questions directly from you guys and he has chosen some of the best questions according to him. And now we're going to try to reply to them. Let's go, Rayann.
One of the first questions we've had a lot on this topic is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Why can buying without visiting cost you dearly?
It's quite surprising for us, the French, to think that a lot of people buy properties without visiting them. I mean, when I first knew about that, I was like, is this really happening? But yes, it is. And it's not legally that the problems come out. It's more about personal issues because the pictures and the videos, they might hide something, or you might just forget some things. And in my opinion, in my experience at least, all the people that bought on remotely without visiting the property, the few ones of them that had issues with it, it was more personal. They were disappointed with the reality because probably the neighborhood was not great, or maybe there was this bad view, or there was the train or the highway, or it was noisy because the neighbor was always shouting, whatever. All this is real life cases, and it might happen to you. So actually the problems are more personal and linked to the property itself. It's not tax-wise or legally wise, because in the end, everyone is going to do exactly the same work.
So it's more like something personal and something that the seller won't note into the property listing.
Yeah, or maybe, I mean, even though everyone is in a good faith, the seller would not notice this because he's used to it and that's fine, but maybe you hate the train noise.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
maybe
barbecue guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
neighborhood.
Yeah. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
So personally, I don't like smelling my neighbor's barbecue, and it would be a real problem to me, right? Maybe it's not your problem. It's not Josie's problem. I mean, so it's personal. Okay. So my advice, guys, do not buy a property without going there at least once. Okay. Go inside the property. Take the time to go in there. Do a tour of the neighborhood. Okay, this is very important. You're not buying a pair of shoes. It's a house. It's a property.
So also,
yeah.
What happens if I don't verify the property boundaries, also called cadastre in French?
It's not a problem, Rayann. Actually, you have an entry, maybe two, if you follow my advice. And these people are professional. Their job is to do this for you. So please do not worry about this. You can worry about everything else, but not the boundaries and the cadastre thing. This is not your job. You have very good people. That's their job. They're doing this every single day. Okay? So don't try to replace them for something you're not familiar with. So please do not worry about this, guys. This is not a real issue for you. Please think about something else.
What mistakes are made in preliminary sales agreement, also called compromis in French?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's mistakes, because again, the notaries are writing them down and they're not making mistakes. It's more about some things which are forgotten. Okay. In my personal opinion, I would say that it's more about forgetting some very important clauses. Let's take some examples. The first one is the clause de substitution. Okay, this one is allowing you to buy the property with a company instead of yourself.
Okay.
If you don't have it, then you're not supposed to use a company. But maybe you're going to need a company. So this might be a problem.
Okay.
And then it's more about the suspensive conditions, conditions suspensives in French. All these conditions are meant to put limits okay, to your purchase. So it's more about if you don't get this mortgage, then you won't buy it and you will be able to take out of the sale without any fees. Okay, so there is a mortgage thing, there is the renovation work. I mean, so let's say you really want a pool, okay,
Yeah.
but there is no pool. Then you would say to the seller, I would buy your property if I'm authorized to build a pool.
Okay.
If you're not, then you can stop the sale without paying the fees. It's
Right.
pretty much the same for any other administrative requests. Okay, so there is the pool, there is the making the house bigger, changing the color, everything related to the property itself. If you want to change a legal change, then you can say that you would buy the house only if you're authorized to do this or that. Okay, and in my experience, people forget sometimes those clauses, and then in the end they cannot do this or that, but they still have to buy it, which is making troubles between the buyer and the seller, of course.
Totally. Okay, very interesting. How can poor tax planning explode your budget?
That's a very good question. I would say that you've got two different sides to your question. The first one is about the taxes themselves. A lot of people forget about the wealth tax. Again, it's from 1.3 million net of real estate assets. So if you buy a cheaper house, it's fine. But a lot of people buy quite expensive houses and they forget about this. And then they receive a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-year bill straight away within one hit. It's quite painful. The second one is about rental income. A lot of non-residents, they tend to rent the property a few weeks a year. But the thing is, they should declare it and pay some taxes in France. Most of the time, they don't do it. Well, most of the time. They might forget about it and not pay the French taxes. This needs to be taken into account because paying the French taxes and the French social charges is not zero, and it might be, might make a difference in your budget. The third one is about the legal status of the purchase of the house. It's absolutely not the same buying personally or with a company. And the most costly mistake I've ever seen in my life is buying your house with the wrong status. Probably the fact of buying with your foreign company, LLC, LTD, all types of non-French companies. This is usually the worst mistake people make. Okay, I've made a video about this, and I received quite a lot of comments on this one and emails with people worried. Oh, I bought my apartment in Paris with my LLC. How was that? Yeah, it was quite a bad idea. So now let's change again, but this is going to cost money again.
Can I trust the official technical surveys?
Yeah, these people are professional. Again, it's like the notaries earlier. They are paid for it. That's their job, and they are engaging their liability. So if there is a mistake, they will pay for it. So don't worry. Again, that's their job. They're doing it. So no worries about that.
Are all renovations legally permitted?
Absolutely not. Trust me, I know about renovation. I'm doing renovation on my new house at the moment. No, you cannot do everything you want in France. Absolutely not. It depends on the location of the house. It depends on the type of house, type of building. If it's a very old building, then you might ask many people before doing it. We've got the Architecte des Bâtiments de France. You've got the mayor's house, which is involved. For example, if you want to buy in this area, then you might be able to build on 10% of the land, or 20 or 25 or 30. It depends on the PLU, Plan Local d'Urbanisme. So you really have to be super careful about that before buying. Okay, so you have to ask someone, probably an architect, about what's possible, what's not, and even if it's possible, you still have to ask it before. Hence the conditions suspensives we've been talking about earlier. Okay, so let's say you buy this derelict house, you want to make it a very nice property, then yes, but it's not sure that you'll be able to do everything you want.
Very clear. Okay. Why are some SCIs poorly structured?
It's more about the tax regime. you know, with an SCI, we've got the corporate tax SCI and income tax SCI, right? And the biggest mistake I can see is a SCI with the wrong tax regime, or people with a tax regime they ignore.
Okay.
They don't know they have this or this tax regime, for example, and they would learn it later once they sell it, and in the end, the bill is quite painful.
Yeah, they will learn it the wrong way,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Okay, what if I discover legal issues after signing?
In this case, we will need to discover whether the seller was aware of them or not. It's called, in French, we call it vice caché. I told you this story. One of my friends just bought a house in Provence a few months ago. And in June, we've been very hot for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And my friend wanted to use the refreshed floor. It wasn't working. So he called the seller and said, it's not working. Is it normal? And the seller was like, no, it wasn't working when I sold it. Okay. So my friend asked an expert to check it out. And the expert said, this never worked in the past, never. So my friend called again and said, look, my expert said that this never worked. What about that? It's going to cost 15K. How do we do? Should I go to court or do you want to handle it yourself? The seller said, should I pay cash or by bank transfer? So in the end, it's really about vice caché. Did the seller know or not? In the case of my friend, the seller knew, okay? And he knew it was not working. He should have said it. He should have said, but this is not working. And my friend could have bought or not. But he did not say it, so he had to sell the house with a refreshing floor. In the end, he paid for it, and everyone's happy. If he did not, my friend should have gone to the court, which is, again, very annoying.
Of course, of course. What foreign exchange or financing mistakes should I avoid?
As you know, most of our clients are not euro users.
Yep.
Okay, and these people, they need euros to buy or to buy the properties. And one of the most costly mistakes you can make as a British, American, Swiss, etc., is not to think about the currency transfer before you buy it, right? Because as you've been aware of, the last few weeks have been very fluctuating, dollar-wise, for example.
Yep.
So if you're American or anything else, then as soon as you've signed the compromis de vente, the pre-sale contract, please, guys, be careful about that. Ask people, ask me, I would give you my contact, and we would help you, I mean, not me, but my contact, it would help you manage the risk of the fluctuation. You could buy euros as of now, or within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, everything's possible, but just think about it before it's the last day and you have to do a huge bank transfer, right? This is very important.
Last question. What documents must always be reviewed before signing?
Only one, the promesse de vente or compromis de vente, it's the same. That's the pre-sale contract. Everything is written in this very much important document.
Okay.
You're not making changes the day of the sale. You just sign, go to the restaurant and drink champagne. That's all.
Okay.
You do not have to discuss things on the last day. So everything is discussed on the pre-sale contract. So this is the only document you, your notary, your attorney, and your wife, husband have to talk about, okay? Everything is on this one. So this is 100% of your attention on this one.
Great, thank you very much. That's all for the questions on this topic.
Easy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rayann. I think it was a very interesting set of questions. I hope I will see you soon for a new video. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you soon.
Bye.